Tau is in sight. Swazdola, Tenno. The internet's been abuzz ever since the reveal this past Saturday at Tennocon. The Old Peace, the next cinematic quest, looks like it will be taking us into the past, before the fall of the Orcan Empire, to an uneasy alliance that's never been spoken about. If you're anything like me, you probably have a lot of questions about the things that were shown during that gameplay demo. When exactly is this taking place? Why do the Sentients appear to be working alongside the Orcan? Who are the Separatists, and why does our operator appear there? After a great deal of contemplation, I think I have an answer for at least a few of these questions. Firstly, when does this take place? As of now, the exact date is ambiguous, but it has to be at some point during the Old War. We know this because the operator briefly mentions.
Can you believe we used to be at war?
Meaning that the Sentients had already begun their rebellion against the Orcan, but the Empire has yet to fall. The operator is seen wearing Orcan-era attire, and you can catch glimpses of Grineer soldiers not suffering clone rot. The Tenno themselves were created in reaction to the Sentient invasion, and didn't turn against the Orcan until the Night of the Naga Drums. The Old Peace has to take place during a period of time before the end of the Old War, but why does this era receive no mention whatsoever in established lore? To me, the most likely narrative justification is that this era of peace was thoroughly scrubbed from history at some point after the peace is broken, likely after the end of the Old War, but before the fall of the Empire. At the end of the demo, the operator kills a Sentient, and Adis, who witnesses the killing, removes his human-like mask and begins to leave. A few moments later, the operator is ripped back to the present. This was likely the event that caused the Old Peace to crumble, which in turn caused the Old War to resume, and eventually come to its conclusion. Second question, who are the Separatists? Based on what we see in the demo, they appear to be a group of Dax and Grineer soldiers who are in opposition to the peace treaty. It's safe to say they will serve as the primary enemy faction during the events of the quest, and possibly for any other gameplay that takes place in the Tau system's past. I find it uniquely interesting that Dax soldiers are there at all, fighting against the Sentient Orcan Alliance. According to Teshin, in The War Within, the Dax are bound to the will of the Orcan, unable to defy their command, either by way of their oath, or perhaps a genetic compulsion, like how the Grineer are compelled to obey the Queens. I suspect that what we're seeing play out is a result of a schism within Orcan rule. On one side, Ballas and his alliance are the Sentients, as well as any other supporters he may have within the Empire. On the other side of the schism stands those who oppose Ballas, likely other Orcan, as well as their Dax and Grineer soldiers. I doubt that we will meet any Orcan there personally. It makes sense to me that the orders are transmitted via the Void to the leaders of either faction fighting in Tau, but that's entirely speculative. The final, and perhaps most important question, is that of the operator's presence in Tau in the first place. The presence of any active Tenno in Tau comes as a surprise, especially when it appears that the operator is capable of full transference, of projecting their body into the same space as their warframe and acting independently of it. Some speculation that I've read suggests that we are not actually playing as our own operator, but rather delving through the memories of the Lotus, who seems to know what took place there. This interpretation presumes the operator imposes their own self-image upon a Tenno who was stationed there on Tau during the Old Peace. I, however, believe that to be entirely wrong, and here's why. After the big set piece in the demo, where Excalibur Prime fights the sentient Honhulus and talks with Adis, the memory is severed. The operator finds themselves back in the Sanctum Anatomica with Lloyd and the Lotus. After some discussion, mentions of polluted memories and things best left forgotten, the operator insists that they wish to return to that memory. I had a friend like me, his name was Adis. The operator speaks in the first person, implying that they believe these experiences to be their own. It's important to note that the operator has a similar experience after the sacrifice, suggesting that Umbra's memories of Isa became the operator's own. Somewhere during the transference bond between the two, their memories and experiences become intertwined and inseparably linked. But I do not believe that is what is taking place here. When the Lotus's cords connect with the operator a second time, you can see Margulis's face flash on screen for a single frame. I won't show it here, as I find the visual rather disturbing. It depicts Margulis after the incident where a Tenno child accidentally blinded her. Her face is scorched, the sockets of her eyes remaining hollow and burned. It's the memory of a child's trauma, perhaps unearthed by the operator's link with the Lotus. If these were the Lotus's memories, it would be bizarre for her to conjure an image of Margulis. But if they were the Operator's own memories, previously repressed but now being unearthed for the first time in the Operator's life, well, these aren't the memories of the Lotus or the memories of a random Tenno station there. These are your memories. You were in Tau and lived through the era of the old peace, and you were the one who ended it. Once the peace collapsed, you were removed from your station. Your memories of the old peace were repressed by the Orokin, just like how the entire era has no presence within Orokin history. Listen to some of this dialogue from the Second Dream and the War Within.
It was here Margulis put you into the dream, tried to heal you, tried to give you the strength to tame the void within you. In a way, this is where all Tenno were born.
But we weren't born here, were we?
No. When the Zariman was found adrift, the Orokin did everything they could to erase their mistakes. Transit recordings, personnel logs, everything was wiped out. The only thing they kept was you.
Yes, hurry, Tenno, but be careful. Last time you got close with the sentients, you wiped out an entire civilization. But you don't remember that, do you?
I warned you. Now you're trapped inside this place with the queens burrowing in. Now I'm forced to undo what Margulis did, to open the gates and make you suffer. Margulis lied to you, a lie of omission. She did not cure the Zariman children. She erased them. My only hope is that truth still lingers inside you, buried within your mind. The power and the misery of the void. Your repressed power has returned, fused with your Tenno abilities, amplifying them. You've outgrown the cradle. Now your transference is innate. Control these Orokin beasts, and escape this prison.
Haven't you been listening? The transference system is fried.
I don't need it anymore.
When the Orokin recovered the Zariman, they did what they could to erase everything that took place. Alad V alludes to the Tenno working alongside the Sentients at one point in the past. Perhaps an alliance. Is it possible then that the Orokin had the capacity to erase one's memories? It is likely that the Indifference is encroaching on Tau in the present. We thwarted it in the Sanctum in 1999 and in Duviri, and now we need to chase it to Tau and thwart it once more. Find the ones who live there if they still live. We need to reforge broken bonds and reconcile our mistakes, create love and harmony in a place where it was utterly destroyed, and push back the Indifference once more. We're not going to Tau to fight the Sentients. I believe we're going to Tau to save them, just as we saved the people of Hulvania. Thanks for watching.